What's going on, guys? Today I am reviewing the Nikon Z50.
I be going hard on my day off like it's game 7 of the playoffs. I cannot lay off, I do not play soft. Hard to the end, put my heart on the line cause I know I'ma win. Ain't no stopping us, I ain't tryna be popular. When I'm popping up, get your binoculars. On the top is us, green light to success, ain't no stopping us. And this is the product of fame, everyone knowing your name. I cannot change, humble remains, I'm just here to game. Remember they treated me lame, stayed in my lane, never backed up. Now we back up, better back up before I act up in here. Elevator going up this year, just for the times they want us here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thomas Brown here, and today I'm reviewing the new Nikon Z50. This is my second experience with the new Nikon mirrorless cameras. The first was probably about 6 months ago where I reviewed the Nikon Z6, and I had a great time with that. Big shout out to Garnett O'Connor from G-Con Photo Lab. He lent me the camera that I'm filming with right now, which is a Nikon Z50, and I actually rented a second Nikon Z50 just to try out. So let's start with this camera right now that's filming me. I'm filming this at ISO 1000 at f4, and the color profile that I'm using is just a standard color profile, so I have not color graded this at all. And I'm using full-time autofocus, so hopefully I'm in focus. I'm really excited to have the Z50 because later today I'll be filming Future's birthday party. And if you're not familiar with Future, he's a rapper, and I couldn't think of a better way to test it than while I'm filming an event. So as a backup, really not as a backup, as my primary camera, I'm going to be using my go-to camera, which is the Panasonic GH5S. If you want to see a little bit of a size comparison, here is the Z50 and here is the GH5S. And as you can see, the GH5S is a really small camera. When I first got it, I was really impressed. I have two more GH5s, but the Z50 is a lot smaller. All right, so I can't go and film a celebrity event without having used these cameras at all. So my first stop today is to go meet up with my friend Will and test out the cameras.
Yeah, so my name is Will Edmond, Ventures of Will. So my channel is all focused on travel and food, but in 2020, I'm changing it up just a little bit. It's gonna be a little spicier and a little risque. No, not risque, but a little spicier.
All right, Will, so this is gonna be the first autofocus test. Right now we have the 16 to 50 on. And right here is the Cab Courthouse, or you call it the Cab History Center, and I film a lot of events here. So we're gonna actually start on that, and now that's in focus, and we're actually gonna come back down the wheel and the camera, and boom, immediately in focus. Immediately, I'm telling you.
Just like that.
I'm telling you. All right, so we're gonna do it one more time. And we're gonna start on the History Center of the Cab, or the Cab History Center, and then focus down the wheel. In focus immediately. Immediately. Some detail on the camera. So that lens right there is a 35mm 1.8 on the Z50. All right, so I met up with Will, and now I have to get to the venue by 10:30 a.m. because the event planner wants to get a time-lapse of the setup. So setting up the time-lapse mode is really easy. So I'm here at the event venue. I got here early so I could set up. The first thing I want to do is set up a time-lapse. All right, so there is the other Z50 over there, and it's getting a time-lapse, and I have it set for 4 hours. Intervals set to 15. Shooting time set to 4. Exposure smoothing on. Frame size. And all we have to do then is hit start. So most of the event I'll be filming with the GH5S is what I'm using right now. And I just got the Z50 set up on the crane, and nothing's set up yet, so we're really just going to go around and hold on, get it back in focus. We're really just going to go around and just get some test shots. though this is really my first time since I've had this for 2 days that I really thought about that this does not have an oscillating screen, so I can't see myself right now while I'm talking to the camera, so hopefully I'm in focus. I am really impressed with the autofocus as I'm doing this prep. And I might say, hold on. I'm trying to think if I want to say this. I might say the Z50's autofocus is as good as Canon cameras. I don't know. It's pretty reliable. It's really reliable. So I've been using the GH5s for the past 2 years, and I really like their menu systems. But I will say the Z50's menu system is really easy to navigate. Let's go over just a few of the buttons on the camera. We have our on and off switch right here. If the camera is on and it goes to sleep, you can just hit the shutter button to wake it back up. Just lightly press it. Have our EV button right here when you're in photo mode. Does not work in video mode. We have our ISO button right here. I have to move a little bit further away. Yep, we have our ISO button right here. We have our record button right here. And with the record button, you do have to press it a little bit harder than I like. And it really affects you when you have it on a gimbal, because you kind of change your gimbal position.
What you find, bro?
It's not that big of a deal probably for some people. So I'm gonna hit record right now, and what you guys probably didn't notice is when I hit record, I actually had to kind of hold the camera, and with my GH5 I don't have to do that. And what I'm talking about is when I hit record on here, watch, when I hit it again, I have to press down really hard, and it changes my gimbal position. And so I don't know why this is, but it seems like a little bit too hard. You want to try, Will?
Let me try.
Yeah, you come right here and press the record button.
Okay. So right
and
here.
See how hard you have to press it.
All right. So I'm pressing the record button. So it drops
it is
down.
really hard.
Yeah, and you don't want to have, if you're vlogging like me, because I vlog everywhere, you don't want to have to try to realign it and stuff like that. So that can be, I think it should be a little bit softer. It should be a little softer. It would be nice if you can actually press the record screen and make it record. Maybe we can find out as a setting.
I don't know if we can yet.
Yeah.
I haven't had it long enough, so maybe there's another way.
That'd
but
be
right
nice.
now, here's a record button.
Here's a record button right here.
And
press it.
And like I said, it may not be that big of a deal, but it is a little bit hard to press.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do right now is focus primarily on the back of the camera and the settings that we're going to be using today. So we're definitely going to be using the display right here. And with the display, you can toggle through and you can see what your current settings are. And you can pull up waveform so you can monitor your settings. Of course, we're filming a black bottom right now, so it's complete black. And then we can check our level to see if we're leveled. And then we bring this back up. So we can actually hit the eye right here, and we can adjust our autofocus. We can change it to manual focus, full-time autofocus, continuous autofocus, and single autofocus. Primarily today, I think I'm going to be using full-time autofocus. All right, here we're going to be setting our picture profile. So I know you guys would probably prefer the GH5S at 1080p 60p since I'm doing 1080 60p with the Z50. But the reason why I didn't do that is because I've been hired to film this event, and so I need to film the event how I normally would with the GH5S, which is going to be 4K at 60 frames per second. Okay, so now we can really get into some low light stuff and see how the Z50 does. So future arrives and it's crazy. So many photographers, journalists in here, and so I set up on the opposite side of the table where everyone else is. I set it to autofocus, and I just click on Future's face, and it just stays. The autofocus just stays. And let me tell you, I did not plan on using the Z50 when Future first came in, because, like I said, I'm being paid to be at this event, and I want to do a good job, and I wanted to use my main camera, which is the GH5S, for that moment. But it just so happened when he came in, I had the Z50 on my gimbal, so I just had to get the shot, and the focus, perfect. I mean, it was perfect. It was perfect. So I just kept using the Z50 for a lot of the main shots that I needed throughout the night, because the autofocus just worked so well. My final thoughts. Well, the Z50 with the lens I have on there right now, the 16-50, is only $1,000. So you can't beat the price. It was really fun to use. The autofocus is amazing. I really don't use autofocus much when I do events. I do a lot of weddings, so a lot of times when the bride is coming down the aisle, and then when the ceremony is over and the bride and groom are coming back down the aisle, I have to use autofocus for those moments sometimes, and I would definitely trust this camera for those moments. The autofocus never failed me once. It's really light, it's easy to use. For vlogging, it doesn't have a flip screen. It doesn't have a flip screen, so I would not use it for vlogging. The colors, I think, look great from Nikon, and the battery life was amazing. I used 2 batteries for the whole event, and the event, I was there for probably around like 5 hours. If you want to vlog, I may prefer another camera like the GH5. I will not be getting rid of my GH5. I really love my GH5S, but if you're looking for a small compact camera, I would highly recommend the Nikon Z50. Alright guys, well, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to look at the links in the description for Will's review of the Nikon Z50 and for Garnett's review of the Nikon Z50. Big thanks to Garnett for lending me his Z50, and see you guys next time.